This is Backstage Bay Area, your all-access pass to the local music scene.
On today's show, we're joined by vocalist Karen Barajas of the groundbreaking trio Karen y los Remedios. The trio redefines musical boundaries by blending traditional rhythms with electronic experimentation and introspective lyrics. We'll explore their journey as artists, from their early collaborations to their evolution as a group. We'll also explore the inspiration behind their unique sound and creative process and what's next for them in 2025. Host Steve Roby will join us shortly, but first, let's kick off the show with Las Muchachas. This is Karen y los Remedios from their 2023 album Silencio on Backstage Bay Area.
En los que es mejor no dar el corazón, pero mejor dar las gracias. Siento suavecito.
That's Karen y los Remedios with Las Muchachas. It comes from their 2023 album Silencio. Karen from the band is my guest today. Karen, welcome to Backstage Bay Area.
Hi, thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm so glad you could be here. Karen, can you tell us how the group came together and the story behind the name.
Yes, for sure. First, we have been making music since 10 years ago. I think even more than that, with collaborations with his solo project and other project he has that is called Ser Humano. Then he produced an album called Karen Karen it was like a band, But then we started making more songs with the sound of Karen y los Remedios. And then I thought it was good to have a band and have a name. And then I started making a list of names that I thought they were nice. And then the one that it resonated more, it was Remedios. I really like alternative medicine though. So I think it wasn't because of that. I just simply liked the sound, but then, a lot of things had sense after I chose that name. And during the pandemic, Guillermo and I were living together because we're a couple. And also Jiony was in another city. And there were some gigs that they were offering me when things were getting better. And Jiony decided they didn't want to make them, but I thought that I really want to perform. Then Guillermo said, I can, be in a computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened a lot of times. And then I told him, why don't you come with your guitar this time? And I really liked the sound. Then I said to Jiony that it was a good idea to have another member. And I think it really makes stronger our live shows.
So your music incorporates cumbia with elements of electronic and experimental rhythms. What inspired you to blend these genres, and how has your sound evolved since your earlier releases?
Jiony was making some cumbia for a documentary film. I didn't know. I used to live for a long time in China, and I started missing rhythms. And once in one of my visits, I told him, I think we now really have to make cumbia. Before I wanted to do a cover of a song that I like a lot that is called Muchachas. And that never happened. And then I think it was the right time for us to start experimenting. I don't know. I think it was his sound and then like the things I was doing before that blended and came through this. It was like an accident that it came like this,
Sometimes those are best.
Yes, it was like, oh, wow, it sounds good.
What would you say are some of your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped the trio's unique sound?
Well, I think it was like unconsciously, that we were influenced by this. Like when I was younger, I used to like a lot Fiona Apple. Then my brothers introduced me in a very early age, I think around like 7 to 8 years old, indirectly to Portishead. When me as a woman and the things that I talk about, and I remember, the songs that I really tried to imitate, it was more like Fiona Apple, but I never got it to do it. Yeah, I think that's our influences. And for Jiony, he has been working a lot in downtempo. And Guillermo has his own solo project. He works with trip hop and ambient. I think that, and for me, cumbia has been a really, really deep rhythm because in my house, in Christmas or weddings, there was always cumbia at the end. We always ended dancing cumbia, when the uncles were already drunk, cumbia was out. So I think there's something familiar and very nice about it for me. And I think are the rhythms in specific groups for cumbia. Well, Los Ángeles Azules, it was something that was always there. La Sonora Dinamita. Then I started listening to cumbia rebajada. That is like this type of cumbia that it's like down tempo basically. And I really like it. I thought it was something super experimental and nice about it. So I think one of the influences, it was trying to do like kind of rebajada, but then it came like something very poetic accidentally.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about Cartas Marinas. What inspired this song, and can you tell us about writing it?
Cartas Marinas is, we have been trying to do different type of music and also like songs. There's some songs that lyric is super direct. And sometimes we make more like poetic things.
Mm-hmm.
And in this one, I try to be like more poetic. And that's what I wanted to talk about it, because it talks about like someone that you meet and make you like go to different places, but also because Cartas Marinas is translated, it was like the people that were exploring the world were looking to this type of stuff. So that's why that song talks about like traveling, but also feelings. And then the feelings are related to oceans, to snow, to different places with different climates. And also it talks about like someone that gives you the empowerment and the idea of traveling together and traveling the world. In that sense, I think it's one of the lyrics that I like the most of the album.
Yeah.
And it's because I think I was able to get more deep in writing like before I did, that it was more like subconscious, but also like more poetic in other cumbias or other things that we have done. This one is more like salsa though. I try to talk more direct to the people, to them, like to be able to get to different audiences. But this one is special because I think it's like a poem.
All right. Well, let's listen. This is Cartas Marinas by Karen y los Remedios on Backstage Bay Area.
¿Qué sería de tu voz?
That's Cartas Marinas from the album Silencio by Karen y los Remedios. I'm Steve Roby, and Karen from the trio is my guest today. Karen, your music reflects on deep themes like emotions and identity. How do you balance that introspection with the lively rhythms of cumbia?
I think there's something about cumbia and also salsa. It's really alive and it's meant to dance, but also a lot of them, they talk about sad things or vulnerability. I think it's something that I have been more conscious about now that I'm making this genre. I think at least in Latin American cultures, like there's a lot about expressing and talking about things that we care about and vulnerability. So I think that's why we can dance to it.
Yeah. Karen, your background in art and research must influence your music. How do those disciplines influence your creative process with the trio?
I think it's super nice that you talk about it because I wasn't born as a musician properly. For me, it was my hobby. And it was a place where I had that I can rely on, but I wasn't expecting to make anything from it. And I think I was trying to make a career in visual arts and also as a researcher. I think that have given me the tools of observing other type of art and also even inspiring, when I'm reading something, if I'm reading poems or if I'm reading the life of an artist or something like that, it really inspires me. But also I think in terms of discipline, or it have helped me a lot in the project. Sure. Because now I can focus and I can do a lot of administrative tasks that usually some musicians don't want to do. And I think for me it's fun. So I think the influence is creative, but also in other more practical terms.
Sure.
Yeah.
Presagio is another standout track from Silencio. Can you share the story behind it and what should listeners notice in this particular piece?
Great. Yeah, I really like Presagio because I think it was like the third song we made with this sound. And this song talks about like manifesting, like love, but like authentic love. And it's just a song that I made, for that love that it didn't exist. But I was very enthusiastic about it. And then this song, I think also it was very experimental because I didn't really know how to make like my voice to sound like cumbia rebajada. And it have some like weird tones in my voice and I really like it because I think it makes it super original. And what is nice is that this song became a little bit viral. I really like it because I think the people really understand what we try to do with this song. And now that I'm doing more songs, I think a little bit more about them. But I think this one in Canario, they were very authentic because we didn't know what to expect and we didn't even have a name back then.
Well, let's listen to Presagio and we'll come back and talk some more. This is Karen y los Remedios on Backstage Bay Area.
Ya no lloro, solo pienso en ti. estar ciego, preguntándome si tú estás perdido hacia mí, hacia mí, hacia mí. Aunque no existas, velo por ti. Aunque no existas, suspiro por ti. Aunque no existas, presagio de ti. Si cuando sueño parece te miro, susurrándole a las hojas dormido, junto a mí, junto a mí, junto a mí.
You're listening to Backstage Bay Area. I'm Steve Roby, and you just heard Karen y los Remedios with Presagio. Karen from the band is my guest today. Karen, what's next for the trio in 2025? Are there any exciting collaborations you can share or projects you have coming up?
We just have today the first single of our remixes album.
Mm-hmm.
The first remix is made by Mexican Institute of Sound. We're super excited about this release and the other artists that are participating. It's a surprise, but yeah, more singles are coming the next weeks.
All right.
And then our main album, our remixes album, I think it's around May. I'm also releasing a collaboration with a friend, Mezcalibur. He's the bass and he's our bass player in some performances, but also he has a band called Bicho Blanco and the Guadalupes. He's super talented and I really like that song. So I think it's gonna be out at the end of this month. And also we're working in a second album. We already finished it. We are now making some final things, but I'm super excited about that. A lot of music is coming. I want to release the first single in October or November this year.
The trio's live performances are known for their energy and immersive soundscapes. How do you prepare for shows, and what can fans look forward to from your upcoming performance at the Rickshaw stop in San Francisco?
We make a lot of rehearsals.
Yeah.
Also, what I like the most of the performance is that we really take the time for and then a lot of things, really interesting things and interpretations of the songs come from that jams. And I think the people love it. And I really like that part. And also, I have noticed that now I have a bigger relationship with the audience. Before I used to be super shy. As I told you, I had another background. It wasn't my intention to become a musician. But now I really enjoy performances. And now that we go to different cities and we see people that know our songs, it feels amazing. And it really makes the dynamic more deep. And I realize how people connect with our lyrics and also how people dance to them. So I'm super excited for our first performance in San Francisco.
What does it mean for you to play in San Francisco? And how does the city resonate with your music?
Great. Thank you for your question. I have been once in San Francisco and I really love the city. I never thought I was going to perform there. And I really like the vibe of San Francisco, a lot of culture. And also I have some friends that work in universities there. So for me, it has been always a very interesting city with a lot of interesting people. So I'm excited about how people think about our music and the people that are waiting for us. I can't wait to meet them.
All right. And let me remind our listeners, Karen y los Remedios will perform on Sunday, January 19th at the Rickshaw stop in San Francisco. Showtime is 8 p.m. and doors open at 7 p.m. Tickets are available right now. And for listeners eager to dive into your music, what's the best way for them to connect with your upcoming tour dates and releases?
We're very active on Instagram.
Okay.
And also in Spotify. You can see all our music there, our releases. In the platforms that let us, we put also the concerts, but mainly our communications is via Instagram. We have TikTok too. We are learning how to use it.
Okay.
And also Facebook.
Okay.
But the one that we are more active in is Instagram.
Okay. I'll put links to those social media sites in the show notes for this podcast. And Karen, thank you so much for your time today and stopping by the show.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Backstage Bay Area will be right back.
Hey musicians, would you like to be a guest on Backstage Bay Area? Just email the host and let him know when you'll be playing in the Bay Area. The address is backstage.sfbay@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning into the Backstage Bay Area podcast. Don't forget to visit us online at backstagebayarea.com for more insights and stories. Be sure to join us next time for more engaging conversations with local talent and touring musicians. Until then, keep the music alive, and we'll see you backstage.